famous rabbis of yesteryear. Now tonight I'm going to speak about a famous rabbi. Happened to be his Hilula this week here on the 21st of Tishrei. Rabbi Yosef Getano, very, very famous rabbi of his time. I believe he passed away about 17 years back in the 21st of Tishrei at the culmination of the Jewish festival of Sukkot. He passed away. Now, it's actually interesting. His father's name was Ezra, and he was born back in the year 1951. We're talking about 74 years ago. Here from the time of recording, he was born in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Now, in this series, we haven't really spoken about that many rabbis that were from Argentina, but it's always good to speak about them. So, I think when he was about 21 years of age, he'd get married to his wife, Ruth. She happened to be, if I'm not mistaken, the daughter of Yaakov Keira and Esther Saturn Dabach, if I'm not mistaken. So remember, we've spoken about the Saturn Dabach rabbinic dynasty. They were Syrian. It was a great family of its time. And I believe there was a Saturn Dabach, if I'm not mistaken, prominent rabbi that was actually the chief rabbi at one window of time. I think his name was Jujam David Sultan Dabach, and there was various other great rabbis that happened to have been chief rabbis in Buenos Aires at one stage in time. Especially, I think there was another famous rabbi from the family, Rabbi David Yoshua Sultan Dabach, who happened to have been a very great rabbi of his time. I think he himself was born in Aram Tzava, and when he was, I believe they were from the same family, they would be learning under great auspices, especially with Rabbi Ezra Abadi. He would have been writing various different important Torah works in of itself. I think he would spend a window of time in Turkey also, and was Rabbi Shaul Dabach was, I believe, the chief rabbi of Buenos Aires, which we've spoken about before, and it was really, really great, famous Syrian rabbinic family. But that's for another class in of itself to speak about their family. So he came from that specific caliber and heritage in of itself. Now, come with the year 1980. It was Rabbi Yosef Getano would actually make Aliyah to Eretz Israel, and he'd moved to the גילה neighborhood in Jerusalem. Remember, we've spoken about the גילה area on various occasions before. Over there, he would learn in a kollel, in a Talmudic, it's a infrastructure called the Or HaMeir, and also the kollel called the Yad Harav Nisim. He will end up, let's just say, receiving ordination, rabbinic ordination, and become a Dayan also through the Rishon LeZion, the chief rabbi of that specific point of time. His name was Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, a rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before, and he'd become a rabbi through his guidance, let's just say, in of itself. Now, I think in Jerusalem, in the גילה neighborhood, he would found a Beit Knesset, a synagogue, called Avi'ezer, and he would be knowing, let's just say, to give both some grandiose sermons, Torah classes in of itself, various different, let's just say, important classes with really, really inspiring the masses in Torah in of itself. It was well structured, his sermons, and it was in the style of like the ancient, let's just say, the more intellectual. He would like to bring vast amounts of immense knowledge, but at the same time bring about an intellectual brilliance with regards to his classes. Now, later on, he would actually move to the Ramot neighborhood in Jerusalem. He would move there further. We've spoken about various different places where they would go. And so Ramot is also a part in Jerusalem, which we visited on this channel before. And over there, he would continue with his Torah studies, his Torah brilliance in of itself. And many people will come and listen to his classes. I think he would work with other rabbis also, if I'm not mistaken. He was a rabbinical advocate, I believe, and he was appointed a part of the Bet Din structure of Mamanot, if I believe. Over there, he would work, let's just say, on various different important things. I think he'd be in the Mateh Benyamin neighborhood. He would work as a regional rabbi in several communities of the Mateh Benyamin Regional Council. He was also a rabbi, I believe, of the Beit Aryeh settlement over there. So he was doing huge amounts of important Torah work, Jewish cycle work, let's just say, in of itself. Now, I believe he passed away. I think he suffered some health issues, if I'm not mistaken. I'll say what it says over here. Really, really suffered some Yisurim Kashim, according to the Hayami website. And I think it was on Hoshana Rabbah itself on 21st of Tishrei back in 2008. Unfortunately, he passed away. Now, much of his Torah writings, Halachot and Agada, would actually come out in various different Sfarim of Chacham Yosef, which was in 3 volumes. This was on Torah in of itself. Then there was another great Torah book that came out in 3 volumes called the Yad Yosef. That was various different drashot, let's just say Torah sermons. Then there was a Chaim Yosef, which was on Hilchot Aveilut. That was another important book. The Yishma Chacham, which is a Choveret as a shut, question and answers, Shelot and Shuvot, as I say. That was through the Machon Yad Chacham Yosef, which would be printed, I think, through Shel She'edit Chacham Yosef Getano. ובהם נושאים שונים, the various different subjects, let's say, בלכי פסקי דין רבים בענייני ממונות, within regards to financial and money matters. He would actually write, as I say, in of itself very important Torah novelties and teachings. Let's explore a few of the highlights from the famous book of his. One of the teachings actually says in I think the book called Yad Yosef, using Jaime website once again for this, מלמד לקשט התורה במלבושיהם ותכשיטים אלו פירושי Torah. This one of the teachings he actually brings down over there. Another teaching. מלמד שיכול ואינו לומד, הקדוש ברוך הוא בוכה על חידושיו שלא נאמרו. He's stating over there basically that he had the capabilities to learn but he didn't really do it so much. Hashem actually cries within regards to what he didn't say at the end. This is actually coming from the book, I think it was printed in 2007 if I'm not mistaken, on the Shurim Droshim, if I'm not mistaken. Another teaching of his says, מלמד שעל ידי מצוות גורם לרגשות רעים אצל זולתו. This is from the Yad Yosef, I think in the second drasha, if I'm not mistaken. That's used there from page 171, I believe. Another teaching, מלמד דבר אסתר שאם אין אמת אין שלום. So the importance of stating emet, it brings about peace and brings about happiness. And if you don't do emet, truth in of itself, you'll be devoid of all those things. This teaching once again comes from the Yad Yosef book, from the various different drushim of the Moadim, respectively, and the parts of the year. One last teaching states, Melamed Gam Ha'isha Yisraeli Hu Sefer Torah. Wow, that's phenomenal. Let's say topic in of itself. That's from the Yad Yosef once again. That's from the topic of the Hachnasat Sefer Torah. Very, very interesting, and very great books of his time. So you can see the great heritage he actually came out. I believe some of his Torah writings are available in the National Library of Israel. Also, that's something we have to point out, and very much I'd recommend everyone to visit. We actually visited the library itself at one stage in time here on this channel. If you look back on the videos that we've recorded over the previous parts of time. So friends, we are a community here. We're learning about great rabbis of yesterday. I'm actually recording this at the time period here in my sukkah in Israel, in the city of Bet Shemesh. If you descend from any of these famous rabbis we happen to be speaking about, please send me an email now. I would love to hear more information. We're a community here. We are learning about famous rabbis of yesteryear and progressing more and more. Now we're nearing at the moment a staggering 7,500 members, which is absolutely a phenomenal achievement at the moment. So if you feel you are interested in watching any of these videos, or anyone's interested, let me know. If you descend from any great Chachamim and you feel we should record about them, please let me know more details about the famous rabbis, and we will try and see what we can do, because we are trying to encapsulate an entire encyclopedia of who are the great rabbis of the various different countries of yesteryear. I feel it's very, very important, and thank God we are really, really making progress within regards to that. Now, on this channel, we don't just record videos of famous rabbis of yesteryear. We do videos exploring about different yeshivot and the different synagogues that there were, especially in the Oriental countries, in the North African countries, the Asian places, also the Ottoman countries also. So we're trying to get a whole wide picture of that over here, and very, very much we are succeeding in doing that. So please, there's many reasons why to join the community. Just recording this here, it happens to be the 6th night of Sukkot at the moment. It's the night of the Ushpizin of Yosef HaTzadik, Joseph the Righteous, at the moment. So just recording this from my sukkah. So very important. A lot of Sukkot parties just came out of Shabbat Cholamoid Sukkot also, which is an opportune time, and very, very great in of itself. So friends, please subscribe to the channel now. We are, as I said before, we're nearing 7,500 subscribers. Phenomenal achievement, and wishing you well. Shabbat Tov Brach, and enjoy. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the great feedback. Appreciated.